Hello everyone, good evening and welcome to Roma Theory. We've got 2 days left in about 24 hours. One of the biggest games of the season, especially after a season like this one where your objectives are restricted. The derbies slowly come in and slowly climb positions in the priorities of our season. I have been on YouTube for about 3 years now. You know what this game means to me. You know what this game means to yourself. And you know what this game means to the city of Rome on both the red side and the blue side. It's a game where passion, where energy, where shithousery, goals, tantrum, shows, everything that you could possibly imagine in a football game will happen on Sunday 100%. Of course, this is the past. Now, there is no need to focus on Mancini's goal. It was good, yes it was, but if there's one thing about derbies, is that the highlights that we have of a derby last as much as they should last, but don't go on and invade the priorities of the next derby. I'm not sure if that makes sense. What we do that Lazio don't is we lose a derby, we win a derby, or we draw a derby, we move on. They stick in the past. And that is what we're superior in, and that's ultimately why we are Roma and we represent the city of Rome. I mean, look, there's gonna be shithousery in this live stream. There's gonna be shithousery tomorrow. And don't get offended if there are any Lazio fans watching this. Again, if you're a Lazio fan watching this, I don't know why you would be here. You've got your own team to follow. There's gonna be shithousery. Shithousery is fun. Shithousery is good when you win and it's bad when you lose. But a derby also means shithousery. And we know this very well. What a game. I am absolutely buzzing for it. I'm nervous. I'm very, very nervous. I normally say this. I mean, let me know if it can be relatable to any other of you guys. But a derby for me, especially the few days, the 2 days before a derby, for me, I've got stomach cramps. I barely eat anything. I go to the bathroom about 4 times a day. And I'm trying to liberate myself using the force of my butthole of all the pressure that accumulates in my body. I don't want to get too specific, but it's a recurring sensation and feeling. This is also what this game means. It's not also the anticipation and the preparation of this game. It's not normal for the fans who live it very heated, and I'm very looking forward to it. Of course, we're playing at home. If you're new here and you haven't followed many derbies, you're probably wondering, well, don't Roma and Lazio play in the same ground? Yes, they do. But in a Roma-Lazio game, 75% of the stadium is Roma. And in a Lazio-Roma game, 75% of the stadium is Lazio fans. If they can fill it, of course. Gabriel, thank you very much for the $10, mate. Gabriel says, Happy New Year, brother. Forza Roma. Happy New Year to you too. Thank you very much for the $10. It means a lot and hopefully they will bring good luck. Before we get into the match preview, thank you, mate, as always. I'll read comments at the end before we get into the thoughts. Speaking about them, predicted 11, Ranieri, very, very key element and figure of the derby is Claudio Ranieri. Before we get into all of that, just here to remind you, they need to do a couple of things. The first thing you must do is hit the like button in this video. 100 likes is the goal on every video for 2025. Also, as you can read from the live chat, if you don't like, Lazio wins. It's as simple as that. Subscribe to the channel because we're getting closer to 14K. Oops. And number 3, follow ComAve on Instagram. If I can, hang on a sec. If I can move this. Oh my God. Let me move this. I don't want to spoil that. Okay, there we go. Right, scan the QR code and follow ComAve on Instagram. It literally takes a click. If you've got Instagram, follow them. They do giveaways on their stories and on their posts, so stay tuned. Giveaways Only thing you have to do is follow them on Instagram, on Facebook, on Twitter if you've got them, but that's the QR code for Instagram. If you won't have a chance to join the ComAve community, as I always say, and be a part of it, it's free and have a chance to win exclusive prizes, then click the link in the description below and sign up and do all of that beauty. But yeah, follow them, takes 2 seconds, little click, and it would be great. Right, back to us. Look, I'm going to start off with them because I don't want to speak about them much, but I will speak about them a bit. They've been really good this season. There's no need to hide it. There really is no need to hide it. They have been really good. The players have understood Baroni really well. They played an incredible first half of the season. They're like 4 points off the top of the league table. They deserve credit. They are playing really fun football. They're playing very fluid and fast football. They are first in the Europa League. This is probably one of the best seasons that Lazio fans would have lived in a very long while. They are a very, very hard team to beat. But as Ranieri focused on in today's press conference, in the derby, we always say this, I've been saying this in every single match preview leading up to a derby, it's the most important thing. When coming into a derby, fitness, form, tactics all go out of the window. This game is about who maintains concentrated the longest, who wants it the more, and who manages to overcome the pressure that will come on both these sides. If you do these 3 things, you're going to win the game. If you do these 3 things, you're going to win the derby. So, yes, they've been really good. They've been incredible. They are incredible. In the last few weeks, they slipped up a bit. Of course, they're losing a bit of fuel. That 6-0 loss to Inter, then the 1-1 draw to Atalanta, the 0-0 draw against Ludogorets Razgrad. They definitely have lost a little bit of fuel, and this is not me trying to jinx them. It's the truth. In the last 5 games, us and them got the same points in the league. This just shows you that we are getting a bit better and that they are losing a bit of fuel. Having said this, it's not about form. It's not about fitness. This game is about who wants it more and who steps up on the pitch with a better mood and a better attitude. And who wants it more. So, having said this, the players that I think we have to be careful with on their side, people say Castellanos. I'm not a fan of Castellanos. I'll be honest with you. I think he's a bang average striker. I think, especially in a season like this one, where everything goes right for them, where literally they've hit the wind, which will transport them to success, it feels like, because everything on their side is going perfectly to plan for them. Even in an incredible season like the one that they're living, he barely scored, 5 goals in the first 6 months of action. These are not good stats for the number 1 striker of a team who's had such a good first half of the season. In my opinion, the difficulties, the biggest player on their side are Zaccagni, because we don't defend on that right side. Salamakers is better than Çelik, but Salamakers also has difficulties in defending. He's great at defending and attacking and threatening the attack and the play, but he does have a few question marks in defending. So the Zaccagni-Nuno Tavares corridor will be the hardest one to mark. The other, in my opinion, the best player in their team is Rovella. He's in incredible growth. I still am very curious as to why he got let away by Juventus so easily. He's a very good player. I like him. He's a classic number 6. Again, similar to Paredes, he sets the play perfectly. He's got that. He embodied and embraced the Lazio spirit, and the fans absolutely love him. So he said it. His big dream this season is to score in a derby and celebrate there in front of the Curva Nord. So, in my opinion, the biggest threats are Rovella, Nuno Tavares, and Zaccagni. Other than that, in my opinion, you've got a team of mid players who, however, have hit the season of miracles, have hit the season of paradise. They work so well together that literally even Patrick in defense could win you the derby tomorrow. So, yeah, I mean, defensively, they're not amazing. Goalkeeper-wise, they're not amazing. It's going to be a very cool game. Had this game been any other game, not counting the derby bracket, we would have lost this game. But the derby is a derby, and it's a Roma Lazio game. We're playing at home, the stadium is ours, and the most important reason, which in my opinion is the biggest hope of a win tomorrow, is one person. Claudio. Sir! In fact, not only Claudio, Sir Claudio Ranieri. A manager who has lost 0 derbies out of 4 being a Roma manager, and a manager who has lost 0 Italian derbies in his managerial career. Now, all of these stats show to you that the day will come that Ranieri will fuck up in a derby. And it might be tomorrow. But these stats also show you that this man knows how to prepare these games. He's not lost 1 derby in Italy, let alone he's not lost 1 derby in Rome. He's not lost 1 derby in Italy. When he coached Juventus, I believe, who else did he coach in Italy? He hasn't lost a derby. So all of these stats show to you that the day will come that he's gonna mess it up. Roma fans, black magic. It's gonna be on Sunday. But these stats also show you that experience in these games counts. And if Baroni is doing a very, very, very good job with Lazio, he's got them playing phenomenally, fast football, entertaining football, 4th in the Serie A, 1st in the Europa League. A revelation of Italian managers. Will he be good enough to prepare a derby? His first ever derby? Will he have the experience to do it? Will he know how to do it? On the other side, you've got a manager who knows these games off the top of his chest, off the top of his tongue. Ranieri wakes up on Sunday morning and goes, this is my air. This is what I live for. Adding on to that, don't forget the very important Roman factor. Ranieri's one of us. Ranieri is a Roma fan. In the press conference today, Ranieri literally gave an anecdote of when he was young and he was part of the Curva Sud and he attended derbies and followed the leading ultras with the chants and everything. Ranieri knows how to live with these moments. Ranieri on Sunday morning will wake up at 7 a.m. whenever he wakes up. He will wake up, he will lie in his bed for 5 minutes before getting on with his day, and you'll go, this is the day that if I were one of them, I would get offended if I lose, because this game is more than a football game. This game is passion, this game is pride, this game is absolutely everything for the city of Rome and for the fans and for the passion and for the legacy and for the culture and for the tradition. So you have a manager who knows how to prepare these games, has prepared these games so many times in his career, has got the fan factor, which is not a factor to eliminate and throw away. He knows what to expect on Sunday evening. Baroni doesn't, because it's the first one. So, being very honest with you, if there's one element of Sunday's game which gives me more confidence than the rest, is him. It's Claudio Ranieri. Had we had Juric on the bench, or even De Rossi, because yes, De Rossi won the derby, but De Rossi doesn't have a managerial, on a fan and passion point of view, De Rossi is probably even better than Ranieri, because De Rossi encapsulates with that vein in his neck, Romanism. That it's the famous De Rossi vein on the neck. La vena di De Rossi. La vena sul collo di De Rossi. De Rossi, in terms of how much he feels it, it's probably even better than Ranieri. In terms of how he feels the game, De Rossi is probably the best of the best. But in terms of experience to prepare on a tactical point of view these games, Ranieri is the best of the best. De Rossi won a derby, but the odds would all have been against him. And actually, can I say one thing? There's this myth. There's this myth in Rome, which we say is, amongst us, amongst friends, amongst colleagues and in schools and everything. We've got this myth in Rome that goes, whoever comes to the derby in a worst state normally and usually wins the derby. Now, that's not always the truth. It's a legend. We call it la leggenda del derby di Roma. And the myth goes that normally, just to prove to you how much fitness and form go out of the window, we actually say that whoever comes into this game as worse, normally wins it. Now, that does not mean that we'll win it by any means. It's going to be a 50-50 game. It's going to be decided by moments. Just like last season, it's going to be decided by mistakes, by shithousery, and absolutely everything. And I cannot wait, because these are the games that we live for as fans. And on Sunday, derby back in the evening, to get that villain spirit out of the fans. I said this in the last stream. The government of Italy had actually they'd kind of actually forbidden derbies to be played at night due to security reasons. After a long while, we've got a Rome derby back in the evening. If you're going to the stadium, of course, enjoy it. Passion, flags, scarves, voice. But outside of the stadium, always remember to use your head. Always remember to don't not get stuck in ultras situations. They're going to be present. So if you're going to the stadium, if it's your first time, if you're going with kids, be careful. Yeah, it's at night. And it's going to be close to midnight after the game ends. Be careful where you go, and because there are going to be moments of violence tomorrow, on Sunday, whenever it is. There have been last season, they've always been. It's the culture of the ultras in Italy. So be careful and don't get stuck in those situations. Don't go, advice as a Roman and as somebody who's attended derbies before, if you're a Roma fan going to the derby for the first time, alone or with kids, don't go pre and after the game past Ponte Milvio with Roma gadgets on, with Roma merch on. Don't walk across Ponte Milvio, which is the square close to the stadium, before and after the game, with Roma scarves, Roma kits, anything representing Roma, because Ponte Milvio is where all the ultras and all the Lazio fans encounter before the game. So you do not want to go there with any Roma gadget. Right. Predicted 11, in my opinion, is this. Standard, classic, efficient. Don't change the formation, which is working. Very simple as that. Svelor in goal. Ndiga, Hummels, Mancho. Angelino, Kone. Paredes. Salamakers, Dybala, El Shaarawy, Dovbyk. My only doubt, as it was the doubt with Milan, could be Pizzilli, El Shaarawy. The only reason I've gone with El Shaarawy is because he's played derbies before. Pizzilli's a kid. Pizzilli will play his derbies, but he is way too young. I mean, look, you can do it. You have to give these kids some balls and some sense of responsibility. But derbies, as I said before, are decided by mistakes, decided by who feels the pressure the most. El Shaarawy has played them before. El Shaarawy has scored in one of them before. So it's better to go with him. Don't stick Pizzilli there. Imagine starting with Pizzilli, and in the 30th minute, he makes a mistake, which costs us the game. We're going to crucify him. Lazio fans will mock him until the day he dies. And ultimately, we're going to have an Ibanez 2.0 who will always be affected and inflicted every time he plays one of these games. Don't do it. Unless the others are injured. If there's no need to do it, don't do it. These games are decided by mistakes and moments. You do not want to put a kid in the middle of a derby. El Shaarawy is better. Zvilar, three-man defense. There are a lot of players in that predicted 11 which have never played a Rome derby before. Dovbyk, Kone, Salamakers, and Hormuz. Hormuz, I'm not scared of, because Hormuz lives for these games. Like, Hormuz gets the best out of himself in these games. And Hormuz will have a great derby on Sunday. Look at me having absolutely jinxed this, and he's going to score an own goal. Salamakers, it's his first derby, yes, but his attitude is going to include a lot of shithousery. I'm confident that he's not going to fall in the trap of the pressure trap, because he's got a good bitchy attitude, which is perfect for these games. Kone, unbelievable. Won't feel the pressure. Again, one of those players who, the higher you set the bar, the more he gets out of himself. My only guy is Dovbyk. Dovbyk, out of those 11, is the one who could get stuck in the whirlpool of pressure the most and ultimately not touch a ball. I remember Lukaku in both derbies last season. In fact, in 3 derbies last season, because we played in the Coppa Italia. Literally in 3 derbies, I don't remember Lukaku touching one ball. Lukaku last season, in all 3 derbies, was a result of and a victim of the black pool of pressure. Dovbyk could be the same, which is why you can't leave Dovbyk alone. So, I trust my boys. Yes, I do. Okay? And we're going to go on Sunday, we're going to step up on that pitch, wanting to absolutely bite their ears off, their noses off, their eyes off, rip their eyeballs out. That is what should and needs to happen. Adding on to this, remember, you've had a very, very poor first half to the season. Very, very poor first half. A lot of your objectives via the league are restricted because of how bad you've been. So this season, more than ever, these 2 derbies mean even more. They can act as a trampoline of relaunch for our hopes, objectives, and dreams. I want, and I always say this, I want 11 vampires on that pitch. I want 11 players who I will see literally poison dripping and spitting out of their eyes. I want to see us massacring them on every single point of view. In the stands, so if you're going to the stadium, bring your voice. The Curva Sud will have another incredible display, of course. But on the pitch, we need to massacre them every single time. And if there's a god of football up there, one thing needs to happen on Sunday. Mancini scores, wins us the derby, and celebrates a goal, holding a t-shirt up saying, next time try harder. Something like that. Imagine. So, I'm excited. I am nervous, but it's a nervous excitement. I'm ready. And so are you. Are you going to film a stadium vlog? Yeah, I'll be there. I mean, if we lose a derby, there is not a chance I will be posting a stadium vlog. Just putting it out there. If we win, of course there will be a video. And if we win, it will probably blow up and we will probably hit 14k or 15k subs. But no, if we lose, definitely not. Not a chance I'm editing a lost derby. I go live for a match reaction, but not a derby. Right. Of course, with what happened in the last derby, with the Mancini flag and everything, Lazio fans are going to target him. Luckily, this is a Roma Lazio game, so we're going to destroy them numerically in the stands. Had this been a Lazio Roma game, and in fact in the next Lazio Roma game, Mancini will get humiliated by Lazio fans. That's where this comes on. That's where this steps up. That's where this steps up. He said it in an interview this morning. The more they boo me, the more they fire me up. So, look, I can't keep this any longer. I'm ready. I want this game to be played tonight. I cannot wait any longer. My stomach cannot wait any longer. My stomach is rejecting any form of nutrition for the past 24 hours. And it's not good. But this is what it means for us, for you, for the players, for Claudio, for us fans who've suffered a lot this season, who've suffered a lot last season, who've gone through moments of trauma, moments of despair. This is where we step up and eat them alive. Because in 1927, we decided one thing. We decided to be and represent the city of Rome. The eternal city of Rome. Right, I'm gonna end it because I genuinely cannot read the chat. I'm so ready for it. I want to go and just end it. Come back tomorrow. We're gonna have a little maybe analyze a few Claudio Ranieri words. So come back tomorrow. Bring your comments because we're gonna read them tomorrow. We're gonna go through a little chat tomorrow, pre-derby chat. I'm gonna end it here. Hit the like, subscribe. Follow ComAve on Instagram, QR code at the start, join the ComAve community for a chance to win exclusive prizes through the world of e-commerce for all Roma fans. Click the link in the description. 100 likes in the video or Lazio win it. I'm telling you, you don't want to risk it. Right, I'm gonna talk to you soon. Look at this. I also got a pre-derby. I got a pre-derby trim today. Pre-derby mullet. Is that even a mullet? I was like, get me fired up. I don't care how much you ask for. Just get me prepared for this game. Do you like it? I'm actually quite a fan of it. I wanted to imitate the Paredes trim. I want to eat these rats like Paredes will on Sunday. Right, see you tomorrow. I'm exaggerating now. Bye-bye.